Alright. So, this is my winning attempt here. This is my profile. And it shows the last attempt that I had where I was able to beat this. I was able to exceed $1 million. So, everything that I did in the last video I didn't have to do. But I just wanted to unlock every achievement then. Okay, so let me talk about some of the things that happened in this run. So it was going very well. I was able to get practically all of the upgrades that I wanted to get. And the only upgrade that I wasn't able to get was the spike shoes. And I was actually quite a ways into the level when I finally got them. I think I was around 720 in the Cosmic Ocean when I finally managed to get them. So it was going very well for the upgrades for the most part, except for that one. And that one, to me, is an important one to have. So I was suffering a little bit from that. But, let's see. So I was able to save my Ankh because I used the paste bombs, which prevented me from dying. And I was able to get to the Cosmic Ocean with the Ankh. And I did use it, and it was a bit of a disappointment because I definitely could have prevented that death. I remember that I fell on spikes and that was how I died, but I don't remember how that happened. I easily could have prevented that if I had just been a little bit more careful. I think an enemy just pushed me into the spikes, and it was a single hit from them, and then I fell on spikes. And I remember the level that was on 712 that happened. And when that happened, I thought I was going to lose my other life fairly quickly. But I just prioritized taking things slow, and whenever I was doing things quickly, I would always say to myself that it's best to take things slow instead of trying to get through it as quickly as possible. And I believe that I died many times because I was taking it too quickly. I took many breaks throughout this attempt. I started getting really nervous because my previous attempt had taken me to 736. So when I started getting somewhere around 750, I started getting really nervous because I was concerned that I was going to lose. And that was once again going to cause a lot of problems. And I told myself that I really needed to be careful and I really needed to take things slowly. I think I took 4 breaks throughout the whole thing, and I would just put the game down and come back later and try it out. So I remember I took my last break when I was on 781, and I just stepped away for a bit, and my hands were shaking. I was very nervous, but I kept on thinking about the game. That's what was funny about the whole thing, is that when I stepped away and was not playing the game, I was replaying it in my head. I was just playing it over and over again, and I was thinking to myself, what am I supposed to do to get past this situation? But it was more that I was just thinking about the game in general and not specific scenarios. So I was able to keep on going. When I reached about level 70, I thought that I was maybe going to beat it. I kept on saying to myself, like, oh, I wonder how far I'm going to get on this attempt. I bet it'll be pretty fun to see how far I can get once I had beaten my previous record. But then I reached 50, and I realized that I was over halfway through at that point. And then when I got the 70s, then I thought, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the time that I'm going to win. So I started trying to play a lot more careful that time and try to play as if I were going to win. So it was very enjoyable. experience. It's been a long time since I felt that nervous before, because I was very afraid that I would make a single mistake and that it would make me lose. But once again, these are all the stats here. I just wanted to point out on the deadliest level, 5-1, that kept on happening because I was kind of being a goof and I wasn't practicing a whole lot. But I died many times on that because I took the shortcut that brought me straight to 5-1, and then I just tried a bunch of things. I was clearly not very careful, but I was just trying to beat the game the quickest way possible. So that's why that one says that it was the deadliest level, and not really for any other reason. But all of these stats here are probably set in stone, unless I were to reset everything. But that's it. So when it comes to Spelunky 2, the game was very enjoyable for me. I enjoyed it a lot. If there's one thing that I had to have a problem with the game, it's that the game can be a little bit too punishing at times. There are also situations where it's not really your fault what happens, but the game doesn't care. The game doesn't care if somebody else goes and makes the shopkeeper mad, and then you have to fight the shopkeeper, and that wasn't your fault, but you have to deal with the consequences of it. And there are also just times when it's really easy to die, and the game is sometimes not fair. I've had recently a lot of situations where something just fell from the sky and it hit me and it would just mess everything up, and then I'd fall down and I would die. And sometimes you're just in these very difficult situations, things that are just very hard to perceive that are coming before they come. So that's my only problem with the game, but it's a very fast-paced game, and it's also pretty fun. I'm glad that I was able to complete this challenge before my interest in the game went away, because I could tell after a little while that I was getting tired of having to go to the Cosmic Ocean again, and I haven't even played the game since I beat it. And I don't think I will be playing it again. It's possible that I would pick it up because in between the other videos, I took a long break. I think it was like 7 months or something. I don't remember how long. And then I started playing it again. But I've beaten everything in the game. I mean, if I'm able to make it to 799, then I've done almost everything in the game. That alone will cover all the other bases. But the game was very fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Don't think I'll be posting any more Spelunky 2 videos. But I did want to show this to show that I did end up beating it. And just as a video to post here, to let other people know, because I ended the last video on a bit of a cliffhanger where I said that I was going to continue practicing, and you may have not been able to tell if that meant that I was going to quit at one point or if I was going to keep on going until I finally beat it. But here we are, and that's all.